Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to episode 7. Welcome to the Sports Cave on #Champs. I'm Hugo.
Adolph.
Big man in the house.
Will.
And today we got a great show. NFL Week 1, of course. It's a big topic. We have a great game, Sunday Night Football. It's a big headline game. We're going to recap some of the awesome games yesterday, college football. And then, of course, we're going to talk about some Rangers still in the hunt. And we got lots for you on the what's happening. And we do have a giveaway for you here at the end. So make sure you stay tuned.
You're now tuned in to the Sports Cave on #Champs.
All right, so again, welcome to the Sports Cave, the official podcast of real fans for fans. We stream live every Sunday morning at 9:30 Central Time, so make sure to tune in. If you can't tune in, just wanted to remind you that you're able to catch the shows on iTunes, Google Play Music. You can watch a video on YouTube, but we do encourage you to tune in. We do chat with you guys. We do take phone calls, so make sure that if you can't catch a live one, you can come back on Monday mornings at 6 o'clock. You can get it as early as 6 o'clock in the morning. So we'd like to go ahead and have you subscribe to us, to our community. You can do that by visiting #champs.tv.
And don't forget to check out our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our handles at the Sports Cave. Check it out.
Check it out, guys. So, man, week 1 started Thursday.
Yes,
I think we're going to have to address the cat in the room.
The elephant in the room.
Man, I hope he calls in. Let's see. We got some people coming in, but we're waiting on you, Jerry.
Yeah,
where
Jerry,
you at, Jerry?
We owe you an apology.
We owe you a big apology. I, for one, did not think that game was going to go that way, how it went on Thursday. But, yeah, man, the Chiefs laid it on the Pats bad,
the
bro.
Pats were 8.5-point favors, so it was we weren't the only ones that counted.
I don't think anybody was thinking that was going to happen. The Patriots hadn't lost at home since like 2006.
In 10 years,
Yeah.
11 years. Yeah.
11 years.
They haven't lost to AFC at home. So, yeah, man, that was Alex Smith definitely, I think, heard our show and started playing for his money because he was off.
Somebody told him, Will said that he was vanilla.
He was vanilla.
He was vanilla.
He said he had a little flavor in him.
Made me look foolish.
Yeah.
So foolish
He
that
made
I even wrote a letter.
Words.
You wrote a letter, Will?
I wrote a letter.
Can't wait to hear it.
I wanna hear it.
Jerry's already here. He said,
Jerry,
I told you
good
last
morning,
week,
Jerry.
believe in
Hey,
the
Jerry, if
Chiefs.
you want to call and gloat, man, you welcome to do so.
You have every right to do so.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
Well,
I'm
going to go ahead and read my letter to Jerry and all the Chiefs fans out there.
Chiefs Nation.
All right. Dear Chiefs fans, last week I said some idiotic, foolish words on this very show. I apologize. I apologize for the doubt. I apologize for saying they had nothing on offense. And most importantly, I apologize for calling the Kansas City Chiefs, your team, vanilla.
Plain Jane.
I now know that is not true. They were far from it. I expected to see an unexciting and dual offense. It was sensational and spectacular. Wow. They made me look foolish as my phone blew up with vanilla, question mark,
Wow.
explicit words, text messages in the fourth quarter.
Oh.
I knew I was going to have to eat my words. So, I write this letter to ask, with your kind hearts, if you could please forgive me.
Hell no.
Show me mercy for calling them boring and not giving them a chance to win in the AFC West division. I was wrong.
He didn't believe in Kareem the Dream.
So wrong. With regards, your friend, Will.
Wow.
Chili Willie apologizing
That's
to all the
awesome.
Chiefs fans. Good
Yeah.
job, Will.
Now I know who to go to when I need a letter written.
Right? How much do you charge for apology letters?
I may need one like ASAP.
All right, we'll get together afterwards and
Man,
do it, man.
thanks, Will. That was good. I
was
think we all, I think we all are eating our words. None of us thought that they were gonna have. I didn't think it was gonna be a game at all whatsoever. But I think the role was reversed. I mean, I think the Chiefs came out looking like the Patriots last year, and then what I don't know what was up with my twin brother and his defense that Thursday, man.
I mean, Kareem Hunt did come out and fumble the first.
Yeah.
I saw that
play,
first fumble.
so
I was like, oh, man,
I'm thinking,
it's gonna be a long
even
game.
in our group chat that we have. I was like overrated, and the only Kareem I mess with is
with
has
the
a
sky
hook
hook?
shot. Yeah, so I wasn't believing at first either, but I mean they put it on, and
He
like we
looked
talked about the week before. I mean anybody Andy Reid puts in, even Shakandrick West showed
He
out
looked
too,
every
so.
bit of the top running back
Right.
drafted
Oh, yeah.
in the
Definitely.
Yeah, he was
in the
fighting for
NFL.
yards.
Yeah,
he
he was
wasn't
awesome.
going out of bounds.
Man, every time
Over
he hit that
250
corner,
yards from
if
scrimmage.
he hit that corner clean, man, there wasn't no stopping.
He was averaging 8.5 yards of carry.
He had 148
That's
yards total, which is completely more than the entire Patriots team
And
put together.
Tyreek Hill showed out also.
Tyreek
Anybody
Hill
that
showed out.
I
That-
may have started him also.
We were giving
paid
people a
off
hard
also.
time for that too.
Yeah, a 70-yard touchdown plus.
And not to mention he had 98. Not Tyreek, but Kareem Hunt had 98 receiving yards too. So
That's
he
Yeah,
was doing
man.
it.
that's not even
He
touching.
was doing
yeah.
it both on the ground and in the air. So
That's awesome. That's remarkable. Yeah, and not a lot of people expected that. So it was good to see. I mean, I hate the Patriots. I picked in our pick'em. Shout out to Fredo. Fredo was the
Fredo.
only
Only
person
one.
that picked
One
the
person
Chiefs.
on the pick'em that picked him.
So
Salty
I mean, shout
ass.
out to them. It's to me. I mean, just around our office, everybody was happy that the Patriots lost. It was
Yeah.
like a holiday
I'm
almost.
sure it was 90%. Everybody except for maybe anybody in Boston
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
happy the
Yeah.
Patriots got
Even
whooped like
people
that.
that lost bets weren't too mad about that.
Man, Alex Smith was completely different than I expected.
Oh,
at
yeah.
least.
He's a
I mean,
different
for
player.
4 touchdowns.
He actually
Yeah.
had a pass longer than 40 yards.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
threw. Everyone
45
say
yards.
he's scared
He
to
wasn't
throw
holding
deep,
back.
and I don't think he was scared. Now, is it just to play
pressure.
devil's advocate? Was it the Chiefs' offense that did that, or
I
was
think
it
it's
the
competition.
Pats' horrible defense that was out there?
Competition behind him. I think he stepped up. He knows.
I think he does.
I think it was somewhat the play calling, because I saw a lot of play calling that I didn't see last year from them, as far as like trickery plays and running the ball once they knew they could run it on them. And then New England's their defense seemed to be out of their gaps, which is uncommon
Yeah.
for them. So we'll see how they respond to this loss and how they respond to their performance, because you know Belichick don't play that. When you're
Yeah.
out of your gaps, missing tackles and not doing your job correctly, then you know that's a team that they can plug and play with anybody, but they have to do their job. Once people are not doing their jobs, and they're vulnerable like that. So we'll see how they respond and rebound from this loss.
I think they'll definitely make some adjustments.
Yeah, that was one of the worst defensive
Outings.
outings for any of the Patriots teams in a long
Yeah,
time.
what happened with
No,
Gronk?
Belichick.
nobody's
Yeah,
put up
Gronk
more
was
than
right.
40 points on the Pats, and I don't know how long. So
Yeah.
that was definitely different for them. And yeah, Gronk was kind of just.
Silent.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, he
was a-
almost had a touchdown, but it was called back because
Just called back.
it dropped. It did hit the ground, so
And
I
then
was happy.
Brady had no passing touchdowns. It was all one player, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then so if you had him in fantasy, you were happy that he
And
scored
then-
you some points.
Yeah.
But-
Amendola was doing good until he, of course, got a concussion.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now what?
I've heard that before.
Right? Not the
Right.
first time.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, speaking on Gronk, Eric Berry took him out of the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then
now he's out for the year.
He's
That's
out with
gonna
an
hurt the
Achilles.
Chiefs.
yeah.
I don't hurt him, but the way they played Thursday, they
Yeah.
can
I
keep
know.
playing like that. That
Yeah,
might
with
not
Kareem
be.
Hunt and Tyreek Hill, man, that adds a new dimension to them.
I think Justin Houston's going back to his old form of being just real dominant.
good, yeah.
He's looking
from
really
injury.
good. So
Right.
I think that he's going to play a big role in their defense.
He
But
can
man,
stay
just
healthy.
overall, their defense was a great play,
Yeah.
man. Against, you can never count Brady out, but it was nice for me personally to see them just like, all right, yeah, we got your number now. Like now what?
Yeah, and I think also the Patriots had lost the lead at halftime when they were going to halftime with the lead, to have somebody come back and beat them like that.
Yeah,
So this
everybody
was-
was waiting for Tom Brady to just do his
Just
thing,
come
right?
back,
You're
yeah.
like, okay, here it comes, right?
There was people that were betting saying that the Chiefs weren't going to come back in the second half. And there was a guy thrown out there 3-1 odds and got his pocket dinged up.
Nice.
Man, that was the Patriots fans are definitely your face all the time, especially with Brady being considered the GOAT. But I think Kansas exposed them a little bit, and I think more people are going to figure out how to plye them.
That's what happens when you have fully inflatable balls.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, shout out, Jerry. You made a good call. I definitely meeting my words of them not winning the West. Maybe if they play that way, then maybe the Chargers will get the wild card instead of winning the West. But, again, it's the first game. We hadn't seen any other games yet. And we'll see if they can keep it up. I don't think the Chiefs have much to worry about so far, though. Their running game is solid.
Now I
man.
really want to see them play the Raiders.
That's going to be
Yeah.
a slobber
Man.
knocker, bro. That should be a good game.
I can't believe I'm saying that I'm excited to tune in to watch the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Hey, man, they have a loyal fan base. I know I have some friends that have been up there, and they're loud, they're respectable, and it only gets louder when they play in Kansas. So I'm
Right.
sure they're amped up for that game to be at home whenever they do play there.
Still can't believe they put 42 on.
Yeah, man,
there
that's
at home.
We got the Chiefs helmet to here too. Christian Okoye signed the helmet.
you
We
go.
got that for you, especially for Jerry. We knew he would probably like that, and we knew he was going to give us some grief.
So you
Well
guys,
deserved grief though.
so we do have Stuart Hall who's saying that Alex Smith's a goat.
Yep.
He's a goat killer. He sure is. He's out there making some taquitos.
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
my
go
boy
that
Stuart
far. I
out in
wouldn't go that
Canada,
far,
bro.
but-
He's watching from Canada.
From
What's
Canada,
up, Stuart?
eh?
Hey. Yeah, he has.
He said he's a goat killer, bro. So
I wouldn't say a goat killer, but he did.
he did shut him down, man.
Right.
He
He
definitely
has-
proved us wrong.
He had Hill as his wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I had him as 2, and then I put him in my flex because I wasn't sure, but he showed out.
That's
So
a
he's
good
definitely
thing you
going to be
did,
in
man.
the 2 or the flex every week. So
I
I'm
think
awesome.
that definitely
I'm
shut
happy
up a
with
lot of haters and doubters. I think they the being young and man they look great, dude.
I
They look
give
like they've
props
been
out to Andy Reid, man. He's been doing it for a long time now, man.
And I like it how he doesn't talk to the media during halftime unless they're winning, and he's like, "No, I don't want to say nothing." Then they came back and just laid it out, man. So that's good for them. But that leads us into the week 1, man. I'm happy. It's Sunday morning. I'm up.
Sunday
Football
football.
starts at noon
super
here
good
Central
day.
Time. So
Forever.
I'm red zoning
February,
it.
bro.
man, yeah, shout out to Red Zone, man. That's the best way to do it.
Right? Don't miss any of the.
You don't miss
the
nothing.
scoring plays, none of the big plays.
Don't need a remote.
Yep.
Yeah, you
don't need a
do
remote. You
anything.
can
No
just,
commercials.
right?
You're not red zoning. You're not
You know,
trying.
yeah,
folks.
man, that is definitely the best way to go. I switched over to providers, and they gave me Sunday Ticket Max for the first 2 years that I signed in halfway in. So I'm excited to get home.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to go in.
Fancy.
I'm definitely
Fancy.
gonna have to renew that subscription next year. So, but we do have one game that was suspended, just to get everybody know. It's the Miami and Buccaneers.
Oh, we got a call.
Oh, we got a caller. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All
I
right.
don't know who this may be.
Uh-oh. Are we ready for this? Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, we know this voice.
Hey,
What's going
fellas.
on, Jerry?
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good. Hey, man, you ready to gloat? You ready to throw it in Will's face?
Nah, we won't do no gloating. They played.
I would.
Yeah, I would.
After that game,
Well,
you have to
you know
gloat
what,
a little
though?
bit,
I
Jerry.
do want to get your opinion.
Okay.
I do think it's going to hurt them with Eric Berry being out.
Yeah.
And who would you like to see him pick up?
I think that they will get affected some because he did play, like Will said, he played a pivotal role in taking out the threats that he stayed on Gronk. I don't think they're going to be hurting too bad. I think the rest of the team, the front, is doing great, putting pressure on quarterback. They sacked Brady 3 times.
But
So, but I as far as picking up, I don't know if they have anybody. I don't know their depth chart to see if they have anybody that can just come up from within.
Yeah, Barry's been holding down that side
Yeah,
forever. As,
he
as
takes
you
the
know,
position
but
away,
even
man.
when he was out dealing with his cancer stuff, they were still doing pretty well.
Yeah,
so
they
I
were
think
doing
whoever
good.
they are going to
I
have.
want.
is gonna
I
fill
do want to say that that red helmet in front of Will looks pretty nice.
It does. It was put there specifically just for you, man.
Yeah, man, he's full on vanilla wafers right now.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So Will said they got
All right,
upgraded to
guys,
Tres
I-
Leches.
Hey Jerry,
Yes.
what do you think of my letter? Do you forgive me?
Oh, I forgive you, Will.
Aw.
It's just a
Hey.
game, man.
All
Go-
okay, yeah.
Go Iowa too, right? What a game.
Go
There you go.
Iowa. They looked good
They
yesterday.
did look good.
Awesome, man. One of my friends actually, or her husband, makes the fields. I need to send you the link, but he made the field for the Iowa Hawkeyes. He laid down the turf for that. And
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and then I was trying to ask last week, the Iowa Stars. Do you remember them? I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They used to be the AAA of the Minnesota North Stars.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. I got a bobblehead just by chance trading from them. I didn't even know about them until I traded for the bobblehead. My niece is a big time Stars fan, so it was pretty cool to get something from Iowa too. So
Yeah.
we got some
Yeah.
connections out there, believe it or not. So just wanted to let you know
Crazy.
that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a small world, but I mean, sports brings everybody together, and we appreciate you calling.
Yeah, man. Everybody else needs to call in that's listening.
There you go, Jerry. I had a way to call him out, Jerry.
Shots
Tell him, Jerry,
fired by
don't be
Jerry.
scared.
All right.
All right, Jerry. You have a great morning,
Yep.
man. I'm sure you're ready to watch some football today, and congratulations on
And
your.
I hate to say this, but go Cowboys.
There you go.
There we go.
All
You're
right,
cool
Jerry.
in my book, Jerry.
Mutual support, man. You're cool, man.
All right, man.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
You have a good one.
The rest
All
of
right.
y'all listening, don't be scared to call
Hey,
in.
that's Jerry. He's called in 2 weeks in a row, and he's got the most phone calls in this show. So
He's the MVP.
he's called you everybody out, man. You guys call in. Look, just call in, give us your opinion, man. We can call us out. You can agree with us. You can just give your opinion, but we need you guys to call in. That's a great way to start the show, Jerry. We
Or
appreciate
you
it.
just want to argue first thing in the morning.
We got the public defender right here ready.
Let me know.
And
On
then we
retainer.
then we got Ronnie over here who's in there. What's up, Ronnie? He's stating that he's always been high on them and Alex Smith, and he's a game manager. It's been like a year or two, but I did try to call Ronnie out, like, hey, what about your Chiefs? And then he didn't claim them anymore. So now that they're doing well, he's claiming them.
now he's
jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, he's back on that. So
He done took a transfer
don't
pass.
think I forget,
Right.
Ronnie. This nerd remembers. So
He's
that's what's
dragging
up.
from the back of the bandwagon.
Yeah, Alex Smith MVP.
Yeah.
So hold
So yeah,
your
Ronnie,
horses on
claim
that,
the
man.
team, bro. Claim your team, bro.
It's only week 1. Calm down.
Right on.
Yeah, but he does make a point. It could be Alex Smith tired of being called the game manager.
Well, not only that, but Mahomes is fresh, and Mahomes had one of the best
Mahomes is
quarterback
hungry,
ratings
bro.
for rookies, and he's looking good, and he's a gunslinger as we talked about.
When is Adam Smith's contract?
This year.
This year, so that's what Jerry
Oh,
stated
yeah.
last week that
That's
he's playing
what
for
it
his
is.
dollars.
So he's fighting for them dollars. I think
It might be his last big contract. So I mean, you know,
Man, if you
He's
put
gotta ball
Mahomes,
out.
if you put Mahomes in there with what they have now, I think that team is gonna be solid for. It's kind of like what situation we're in. We got young star players at key positions that they'll carry you for a while, man. So
Yeah.
that's good to see. I think Alex Smith is definitely gonna be fighting for his spot. But back onto NFL Week 1. There is one game that's been postponed. It's we send our prayers out to everyone in Florida right now. It's a tragedy to see all this going on, and it's not going to stop. It seems like there's more storms heading that way, but just prayers out to everyone in Miami,
Tampa Bay.
in Florida. Anywhere, all Florida is going to get affected by this. But the Miami game and the Tampa game was canceled and postponed for Week 11.
Tampa Bay, I think, is taking a direct hit from the.
Yeah, they're taking a
hurricane, so-
direct hit.
sad.
And the path is going. So again, guys, and that just to throw in there, don't forget to donate if you can to any of the charitable causes. I know we're helping Texas out, but our brothers out in Florida are going to need help too. So make sure you do your part, and just remember that the recovery isn't just when the hurricane's over. There's still time after that they need to rebuild. So let's not forget everyone that needs help, and just do your part if you can. Definitely hit us up if you want us to collect donations for you. We'll find somewhere to take them. I have a friend at work who's got connections with the Salvation Army.
Or if you have a donation drive going on,
let us know,
and we'll announce.
We'll definitely
so
shout it
people
out.
can know.
So prayers out to everybody out there in Florida. But it's looking like the rest of the NFL starts today, starting at noon. I love living Central Time.
Yeah, real quick though, I want to talk about the players missing because of that. So you got Miami, you got Jay Ajayi, Jarvis Landry,
Devontae
Mike
Parker.
Evans,
Devontae Parker, Jay Cutler, if you're possibly doing that.
and it looks like we got another caller.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jerry! Shout out to Jerry. Got everybody riled up this morning. Good morning.
Well, I figured since you guys called us out, this is Stuart from Canada.
Hey,
Oh,
what's up,
hey.
Stuart? Hey, what's going
All
on,
the way from
Stuart?
Canada, y'all hear that?
Oh,
What's up,
I'm
brother?
out here just enjoying, loving all this talk about the Patriots going down, all this out. So I'm like, okay, I'll call it, give shout outs. What up, Adolf?
What's up, brother? How you doing, bro?
Hey, bro.
you
Quick
know,
question. How's the temperature out there right now?
It's actually not bad. I mean, the igloos are melted, so we're getting that cold back to get the igloos back. But, actually, it's pretty decent. But
That's awesome, bro.
I'm sad
Nice.
because I'm a Dolphins fan. I want to see some fins up today, but, tragedies are going down, and
Yeah.
Some things are more
Not a good
important than
look.
football. So
that's it. But still loving hearing the Patriots diss talk, though, I must say.
Awesome. Who did you have any Dolphins or Bucks playing today, Stuart? Or
No,
originally?
because I have O.J. Howard as my backup tight end, and I also got Landry, but my team's so stacked I could put him on the bench.
Very nice.
Shots
very
fired at the rest of the league
Yeah,
you're in.
Everybody else that's suffering.
That's right, pow pow. But all right, I'll let y'all get back to your show. But
I appreciate it, bro.
I can't say go Cowboys, but my girl does. And,
Hey, we'll take that.
See y'all against the Giants.
We're gonna get her one of those shirts, bro.
Yeah.
You watch. You watch. We
Hey,
got
if you can get it in a hoodie too, you'll make a woman real happy.
Okay,
Hey,
no
we-
problem,
we'll-
dude. We got you in the
duly
raffle
noted.
Too, so
we'll
we
get
got
you some
bro.
brownie points.
All right. Thank you, Stuart, for calling in.
Thanks, bro.
All right. So, look, we got calls from Canada, man, international.
What y'all think about that? Texas boys getting calls from Canada.
There you go,
Pretty
man.
Nice,
Now
huh?
we just need someone from Mexico.
Right.
La gente que está en México está viendo, vamos a, llamen.
That might be you next week, bro. So
Yeah, it might be.
Make it happen.
Y'all forget Adolf's from Mexico City, man.
Mexico City.
Yeah.
Don't forget that time he lied to get on TV.
Don't believe it? Check Facebook, our Facebook page. It's all
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's all there. The story behind that is on our page at Sports Cave.
They still haven't gotten me a jersey.
Uh-oh. Yeah, man.
Shout out to the Rangers. We're calling you out.
Yeah, but and then I'm sorry, we were talking about the Bucks too. I mean, the Buccaneers are going to be missing players.
Yeah, I had Jameis Winston as my starting quarterback.
D-Jax is out. I have Mike Evans and J.J. in one of my leagues. I had to sit out.
That's tough.
Yeah, man.
So how you looking? Do you think you're going to win in that league?
I'm probably going to lose game 1, but I think my team is solid enough to maintain up there once they come back after week 1. If I can get those two guys starting in, that's a big 1-2 punch for me. I think.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's a big hit.
No Jacquizz Rodgers. You know, he was supposed to be starting for the first 2 games of the
season.
season.
I have him in as a backup in 1.
And then that pushes Doug Martin start too.
Yeah. So that gives Doug Martin that extra game.
Right on.
So that's a little bit of impact.
That's a big impact.
I got lucky with Winston in my league where I had Winston as my starting quarterback. I got Matt Stafford as a backup, which is not a bad backup.
That's good.
Well played, sir. Can't go wrong there.
Say you got Mike Evans, who's somebody you go pick up to fill in that void if you don't really have somebody on that bench.
Player.
Well, on my team, I had Martavius Bryant in, and I put him in, and I got in another league I had Amari Cooper, so I just substituted for him.
Yeah.
So I wasn't hurting too bad, but man, it depends on who you have on your team.
Yeah,
right.
I would to move up Emmanuel
You would
Sanders.
think that they'd have someone better on their bench than going to pick somebody up at this point in the season, but.
Yeah, it's kind of early.
It's kind of early.
Rashad Matthews, those type of guys that are solid on your bench. You might be looking at a 4 or 5, but you could just plug in and play. Jamison Crowder would be someone pretty good.
And it's also good to have a flex player. This is where the flex is really key to have in there.
Looks like we have
another caller. All right, we're busy this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
How's it going?
We're doing great, thank you.
Who we got on the line today?
Belinda Magana.
Hi,
Belinda.
That's my mom, everybody.
Hey, Adolph's mom.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Ready for
morning.
the Cowboys.
I did not think you'd be calling. So what's up, Mom?
How's it going?
I am calling because I want to know something.
Okay.
I think y'all are doing a great job, and I want to congratulate all of y'all.
Thank you, Mom.
And also would like to give a donations for the sports case.
Okay.
And I was wondering, how would we go about it? And there might be other people that's willing to help out in the community because I think this is a great idea. And I think we want to move forward, and we're here to support y'all.
Okay,
awesome.
We really appreciate that.
Well, if you
love it, yeah.
just
You
want
can
to hit
talk to me.
Yeah.
I'll work it out and then make sure that everything goes to the proper places. And I appreciate it, Mom. And anything that you can spread out. Do you have anything to say about the game? Any questions or?
She said, "Go Cowboys."
Hey, go Cowboys. I mean, yeah.
Oh, we're just ready. We're cooking and cooking it down and ready to go.
What are y'all making over there? Mom?
I'm sorry?
What are you making? Or what are y'all going to be eating for the game?
We are making brisket, beans a la charra, Mexican, and arroz, Latino arroz.
Okay, cool.
Go.
I think that's what we're going to need for our fight night. That's what we're talking about. So
Blue salsa, cowboy colors.
There you go, blue salsa. There you go. That's original right there.
She knows the way to our heart.
And of course, blue margaritas. We can't leave those out.
There you go.
All right, go
Definitely got to be ready for those. We
like
appreciate the call. And just to touch on that,
Well, y'all have a great morning, and
Thank you.
good luck to y'all, and we appreciate everything y'all doing. And just give us information on your talk show, see how we can help donate to support y'all.
Cool.
I know
Awesome.
y'all devote y'all's time, and y'all are doing a wonderful job. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Thank you. So yeah.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you for calling in. If y'all have any questions on how to donate or get some sponsors or anything like that, just let any of us know. Hit us on the page, direct message us, email us. We'll have all the links available. But yeah, just get in contact with any of us, and we stay in contact throughout the week. So, hey, we got some callers in today, man. We got someone's mom that called in. So y'all need to call in. If y'all are talking about some sports, y'all need to get called in. We got a call from Canada.
Yeah.
Your mom called in. Hey.
From Rowlett, I'm guessing. So
Hey, shouts out to the Eagles.
Yeah, that's what's up. And Marco's on the line, or Antonio Delgado saying, "What's up with Brady?" I think he's fine.
40. He'll be okay.
Fine. You can count Brady out as much as you want, but he's still gonna be.
The last couple of times they lost a home opener, they had pretty good runs to finish out the year.
He didn't put up a big fantasy day. Gillislee had a lot of touchdowns, so we didn't even talk about him. He was a red zone vulture, so he took a lot of.
Yeah, he didn't get many touches in the
anybody
field.
that got him on their team. So yeah, Brady just didn't look himself. But
It's
gonna be
game
okay.
one, man. It's
It is
early.
game
He'll
one.
be all
It's
right.
early, yeah. It's
I wouldn't drop Brady from your lineup if you have
If
him.
you want to trade him to me,
Yeah.
holla.
So there's a lot of action going on today. If you guys want to go over some predictions of what we think the games are going to be. First one that we got is Bills against the Jets. If you guys are interested, we'll give the line too, so that
go for it. Why
they
not?
got the Jets plus 10. So I'm still going to take the Bills.
Yeah.
I would take the Bills.
You got to take the Bills.
Even the over too, if I was a betting man.
Even with the over.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a defense to stream, I'd pick up the Bills against the Jets. I know I did in two out of my leagues.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say the Bills as well.
All right.
Then the Jets haven't done nothing for the last 2-3 years.
Their
It just
quarterback
got worse to
situation
me.
is horrible. They just traded their best defensive lineman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Their
see
wide
them doing
receivers gone.
Yeah.
That one should be a no-brainer, but again, anything can happen in the NFL. Then the next one I got is Falcons and Bears. And then for the people that are interested in the line, they give them the Bears plus 7.
I think the Falcons cover.
Yeah,
I think the Falcons cover as well.
I think that line. I would give them more, but
Chicago's defense got a little better, but I still don't see them being able to keep up with them.
No,
with Mike Glennon as the quarterback.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Definitely
gonna
taking
be
the Falcons
plus
over that
17.
one.
You can't stop the Falcons that much.
And as I said last week, they're my high score pick in our Yahoo Pick'em. Shout out to everybody that's doing those.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining the leagues. Moving on, we have the next game. I think this is one of the key games I have. It's the Bengals and the Ravens, and then they giving the Ravens 2.5 points, and I think that's going to be almost even. I'm personally going with the Bengals to take out the Ravens.
I'm going with the Bengals just on the fact that Flacco missed a lot of the training camp, so I think the Bengals have the upper edge with their running game. They have a fresh new running back in Nixon, and still got Jeremy Hill running the ball too, and they got one of the best receivers in the league in AJ Green. So I give the upper edge to Cincinnati, and not to mention their defense is probably Baltimore's defense might be a little better, but the Bengals defense still has a pretty stout defense.
Yeah.
Their defensive linemen are
big boys, man.
big boys that like to get in there and create some havoc. So, but I still think the Bengals will cover it. So I'm going with the Bengals on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Bengals.
Me too. The Ravens defense is stepping up. They're getting a lot of praise, so they'll probably be a good team to look out for in fantasy.
I'm pretty
too.
excited to see Joe Mixon as well and see what he can do behind that line.
Me too.
Their
running game's awesome. So
the next one's a pretty good one too. I think this is where 3 o'clock the game starts, but it's Cardinals against the Lions, and they're giving the Lions a point, just 8 point. 8 point. So
that's kind of tough.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I'm still gonna take the Cardinals over the Lions just because David Johnson's big. You got to be able to stop him.
Okay, we got a call.
Question about the
I'm sorry. All right.
All right, so Antonio wants to talk about the Cowboys, and we'll get to that here in a second. We have a whole segment for you on tonight's game as a preview, but he's also saying that Brady's missing some key receivers, and he is. But it's
missing Edelman.
It's Belichick's system, and anybody can come in. Hogan
was quiet. I played against him in fantasy league. He had about 3 points in the PPR league, so he was very quiet.
He was on my bench.
Amendola
wasn't
doing
really
his
thing. The other guys, Malcolm Mitchell, nobody really stepped up.
And don't forget that Brian Cooks did drop a few balls too. Some of them were deep.
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks.
He had some good catches too. He showed his speed off. So they're going to be okay. I think you need to chill a little bit on that Patriots. Quit beating up on them. They still scored 27 points.
Yeah, they just scored 27 points. It's rare that.
Chill.
Brandon Cook still almost had 100 yards. He had 88 yards. So
I think you can relax a little bit.
Yeah,
don't trade him. Again, if you want to trade, then call it.
But if they start losing, then we'll be like, hey, you called it. I will give you props for it.
Right.
Cardinals and Lions, is that where we're at?
Yeah, I picked Cardinals in that one just because of their defense and their running game. I think they're going to dictate the pace of the game and time of possession. They're going to keep Stafford off the field enough to win the game. And to me, I love Stafford, Highland Park, shout out to them, but I just don't see him dominating a good defense or a dominant defense like that. So I think I give the Cardinals an edge, and I think
I have the Lions going to the playoffs, but I think they're going to start off in 1-1 just because what he said, the defense on that side of the ball, they have one of the top secondaries with the Honey Badger back there, and then you got Peterson back there. And then, they got Carson Palmer back, so if he can stay healthy, and he can play anything to what he's played when he's capable of playing really good. They have some good receivers, and Larry Fitzgerald just never getting old. He just keeps playing, He's still doing it. Then they have, Brown coming back from, his injury.
Healthy Brown.
If he can stay healthy, and then, like you said, the beast of a running back that David Johnson is, man, I think they're going to beat the Lions today. I think the Lions will do good this year, but they're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
I got the Cardinals for the mere fact, the same facts that you guys stated. The defense is just too good.
Yeah. I think so too. Ronnie's saying that Carson Palmer's going to go down again. So
he might.
See. That's always going to be the risk all week long. I stayed away from him for that reason this year.
He's not my boo no more, man.
Yeah, he's getting old, so that'll be interesting.
This one coming up here, I think, is going to be a really good game to watch, and it's the Raiders and the Titans, and they're giving the Raiders 2.5 points. I got the Raiders winning that game just because of the fact that their offenses have been proven with Derek Carr healthy. Man, that's going to be a good game, though.
Yeah, they opened up as the favorites, and now they're the underdogs. So a lot of people were jumping on them. So I think the Raiders will take this one. It's going to be a hard-fought game. I'm not saying they're going to go in there and take it easily. They might have a chance of losing, but I still think they'll go in there and win. And with the point spread, I definitely think they'll take it.
They'll cover.
Yeah.
I got Oakland as well.
Okay.
I had them winning, and now you're giving me points, so I think they're going to cover. So.
Yeah, I took the Raiders. It's going to be the battle of the comeback quarterbacks. So
they both got hurt last year.
That's going to be something to watch out for both of them, to see how they play, how they react to getting hit over and over throughout the game.
And the return of Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited to see.
I go with weapons over the Raiders over the weapons of the Titans.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders have the edge on defense.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah. So
they're physical. They're tough.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of people out there excited that the Raiders are back and getting good shape like they were back in the day. Then we two teams that I really despise. We got Redskins and the Eagles, and that's an even line. So that's just they didn't give any points. But I have the Redskins over the Eagles just because of the fact that I don't think the Eagles are gonna. I don't know, man. I think that the Redskins have a little more weapons. Kirk Cousins to me is a better quarterback than Wentz. As much as I hate to talk about either of these teams, I hope they tied to be, but I'm taking the Redskins over the Eagles on this one.
I did the same as well, for the same reason. Basically, I've seen Cousins do it. I'm not too confident in Wentz. I know he has, or people say he has potential, and they're expecting him to take that leap. But I'm gonna wait at least a week to see it.
Mm-hmm. What's the line
at least a couple weeks.
It's even. It's an even line. There's no point spread.
Pick them.
Yeah, I think are they playing at home at the Redskins' home too? Right?
At Washington.
Is that Washington?
Yeah, I'd have to just go with the home team on this one. Honestly, I think they're kind of fairly matched, but the Redskins have a little bit of an edge right now. To me, they have, they've played better the last 2 seasons, and I don't think they regressed any from last year to what the Eagles are still kind of in the rebuilding process. Wentz is probably going to end up being a better quarterback than what Kirk Cousins is right now. But Kirk Cousins, to me, I think he's going to try to show out this year because he's trying to get paid finally.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how it goes. But I think the Redskins will cover on this one.
We just keep agreeing, man. Okay. I'm going with Washington. Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback. This is his contract year. He's going to want to play for that money. He's got
a fantasy question.
With Terrell Pryor's.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We have a question from Kerry Richardson. They were asking, with D. Jackson being on bye, should they start Jordan Matthews against the Jets or Brandon Marshall against the Dallas Cowboys?
Marshall for me, no hesitation.
Especially with Odell having that question mark. He's a game time decision tonight. We don't know if he's going to play or not.
Cowboys rookie defensive backs. Eli averages at least 2 touchdowns a game here at Jerry World, so I think at least one of them goes to Marshall. So I would definitely start him with confidence. And shout out to Kush Gordon, who's in our league. Stewart stated on his pick.
He's gonna win.
I like that name, Josh Gordon, Kush Gordon. You see what he did there? Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then we also have a question. I believe, or somebody was stating that Palmer's going down, and what do we think about the Cowboys defense, and we'll cover the Cowboys defense in a little bit. What was the next game?
The next game is Texans over Jags, and they're giving the Jags 5 points, which I think is kind of low. I think the Texans are going to just destroy them. I think anybody's going to destroy the Jag.
I think so too, with all the emotions surrounding Houston and J.J. Watt doing what he's doing and everything. I think they're going to show out today. You guys?
I see Houston winning. I don't know if they're going to cover the spread. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what people think, to be honest with you. I think the Jaguars have a couple more weapons now. They have Leonard Fournette. And is he out this week, though?
No, he's playing.
He's going to play.
Yeah, if
so,
not, I mean,
they have some good, they have some good receivers. If Blake Bortles can play consistent enough, I think they can.
That's a big if, though.
And that's
you
against
got
the Texans
Clowney
defense.
chasing him all day, and you got
and J.J.
Watt chasing him all day. They got a good secondary.
I mean, it comes down to that Blake Bortles play.
Ooh.
Is he the Blake Bortles of 2 years ago, or is he the Blake Bortles last year?
Yeah, that's
I mean, all signs point that it's going to be the Blake Bortles of last year. From what I hear, from training camp, he wasn't that great at training camp.
They were thinking of starting Henny at one time.
It's also a division game, though. The division games are always tougher.
Yeah.
It's always tougher. You play them more than any other team.
You know that
you play
team
them
very
every
well.
year. You know them very well.
Yeah,
so.
the Jacks score a lot of garbage time touchdowns, so
They
never
do.
know. So they're always trying to come back. So
I think Houston will
that's a game
win.
they're used
If
to.
they cover, they'll barely cover.
Okay.
You're giving them 4.5, 5 points. Next one I have down listed is the Rams and the Colts, and they're giving the Rams 4.5, and that changed because the Colts were the favorites last week as I was doing my pick 'em.
2 words. Scott Tolzien.
That's all I was gonna say too.
That's why they were expecting Luck to come back, and he's
I
still,
could see Jacoby Brissett coming in this game if Tolzien doesn't step up at all in the first half.
I went all in on the Rams defense. As you said, in 2 leagues, I went in and got the Rams on both because I think from what I've seen of Tolzien, he's not very good at all, and their weapons are gonna be bad, and they're gonna stack the box against Frank Gore. I wouldn't go with many Colts today. Unfortunately, I don't have to, but
I mean,
but I think the Rams are gonna tee off.
I think the Rams will take it.
Rams.
And we're just agreeing today. That's great.
It's not planned. It's not
we promise.
We didn't even talk about it.
we don't come in prepping to see comparing notes. But next game I have is another one to watch. I think is a must see. Is a
Stewart said every year his cousin's contract.
Yeah, he's smart,
it is.
man.
That is very
He's
true.
a smart guy.
He's been franchised 2 years in a row.
Gotta get
now.
that money though.
Kevin Durant of the NFL. He's got all these short contracts. He's doing it smart.
Hey, at least he's getting paid though.
He's getting
big
paid.
time.
He's getting paid big time. So
Big
I would do it.
time. And the Redskins are dumb for not
Signing
locking
him
in. At
already.
least sign something, cut him later, something. But they need to figure out something. They're paying him way too much.
That's
Oh, well,
a lot
let
of
him
money,
keep
bro.
screwing it up.
Yeah,
it's all right.
yeah,
It works
that's
for me.
cool with us.
Yeah, it
too,
works
though.
for me.
Yeah,
It works for me.
keep going.
Next game I got to me it's a must see. It's Seahawks and Packers.
Oh man.
They're giving Seattle 3 points.
Yeah, that has to be the game of the afternoon.
I think that's a 3 o'clock game. That's
Right.
definitely if you not make it at the house by 3, just find somewhere to watch it because I
Right.
think that's the one to watch.
The Eddie Lacy Revenge Bowl.
I think
They're playing in Seattle.
No, Green Bay.
And they
At
got
Lambeau.
Seattle.
they got Seattle +3.
Oh, +3, so they're the underdogs. I think I'm going with the Packers with this one, just because they're at home and Aaron Rodgers. Even though that defense is great, their offensive line on the Seattle side of the ball, I don't know that they can keep up with Aaron Rodgers as far as scoring wise.
Too many weapons on that
Yeah.
side.
I'm going with the Seahawks for the upset, man. That's just my pick. I think their defense is still pretty stout, and Rodgers is beatable. The boys prove that they can hang in there with them. I think Russell Wilson's looking good again. I don't know if the Packers defense they weren't as dominant as they have been in the last few years, so I think they definitely leave it open for the Seahawks to score. And maybe we'll see if Graham steps up finally and is a key part. But I think Seattle's going to take it.
I picked Seattle on this one as well, just because of their defensive weapons. And like Google said, Russell Wilson's been playing good, and they've been utilizing him. He's been throwing down the field more. They're getting away from the running game more and using his talent. And once he gets out of the pocket, he can rush for a first down easily, slide, and just keep doing that all game. So I think Seattle's going to win.
I think they're definitely going to load the box and to test that running game out. And then, of course, you have the Legion of Boom back there. So it should be a good game, though, regardless. And we finally disagree on
I think behind the Cowboys and the Giants, that might be the game of the week.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Follow up with another afternoon game. Panthers and Niners. They're giving the Niners 4.5.
I think Panthers win
easily.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
Cam
too.
Newton has a big game.
I hope so. He hasn't done much in the preseason, but I'm hoping he has a big game. The 49ers had one of the worst rushing defenses, so I could see McCaffrey, Jonathan Stewart,
I didn't
even
see
Cam
the
getting
49ers
some
get
yards on
better
him.
this year. I didn't see them drafting anybody notable to me that just going to go in there and change their team the way it's been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They didn't really make a lot of free agent moves, so to me, I just think they're not that good. I mean, Carlos Hyde's a good running back, but he's a good running back on a team that's mediocre. So.
Right.
I think in offense they're going to get a little better. They got Pierre Garçon, and they still have Carlos Hyde, who's very underrated. And they got Kyle Shanahan, who's one of the best offensive coordinators. He was the Falcons' old coordinator, so he's creative. So I think they're going to get better. But this week I definitely would not pick them against the Panthers and Luke Kuechly and that defense. I don't see that.
A beast.
I just have a feeling the Panthers are going to be the Panthers of 2 years ago this year.
You think so?
I hope so. I'm relying on Cam.
I'm going to skip the Sunday night game because that's going to lead into our other segment. But Monday night, there's a doubleheader. Who doesn't want to watch 2 football games back to back? On a Monday, we got the Saints and the Vikings, and they're giving the Saints 3 points. I'm taking the Saints over the Vikings. I think Drew Brees is going to have a good year.
I'm taking the Saints also just based on their offense versus the Vikings offense.
Defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Vikings defense is not looking good in the preseason also. Is part of why I took that pick, and I think Adrian Peterson's going to be on display today against
another
the
revenge
Vikings
game
tomorrow. Yeah, when they play. So definitely.
I agree with you. I think Peterson's going to try to show out. Minnesota has a good defense, but I don't think they have enough defense to hold Drew Brees back that long. And to me, Minnesota, their quarterback is, it's just kind of mediocre to me. He's just a team manager, but nothing great.
He's just
he's just a bus driver to me. I don't know.
Yeah, Saints win quarterback play for me.
I do want to see Dalvin Cook and see what he's going to do in the league. Though. Yeah. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see all the rookies. The high-end rookies like that.
Right. I just don't believe in their offensive line either. The Vikings' offensive line was bad last year. So I mean, even with Dalvin Cook, he's gonna. And they had Peterson last year. A lot of different running backs. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to look. So that's why I'm picking New Orleans in this one. The New Orleans defense to me looked better in the preseason also.
More weapons on offense too.
Yeah, definitely.
Stewart mentioned a good point. He's claiming that the Seattle has no O-line, so they're going to get smashed. But I don't know, man. That Green Bay defense was suspect to me also. So
I think that's why they've been throwing it more too. The short passes. I mean, they have Lockett. They have good weapons on the outside. Richardson. They still got Jimmy Graham that nobody talks about. He's still one of the better tight ends.
The trades. So.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a lot better year this year. Not having to deal with injuries. He's been quiet, but I think he's gonna be
Javier State's
big mismatch.
AP's gonna run all over his old team.
I think so.
Does.
I think it's a revenge.
He went through a lot. No, don't forget he went through a lot of BS with the Vikings.
If he's gonna have a big game, I think it's gonna be this one. I mean, because it just has that extra motivation. He was trying to leave the Vikings, I think, for a while before, and then he finally got out. I think he still has a lot of tread left on his tires. I mean, even though he's getting older and he's had an injury, that's one guy that works out like a beast. I mean, when he got injured, he came back and was one of the top running backs. I think he still has a lot of tread on the tires left, and I think he's going to show out.
He's a freak of nature, man. Yeah. AP is just in a class of his own when it comes to just physical specimen and, like he said, coming back from injuries. I don't know.
He don't get tired.
Yeah, you can't doubt that guy. Until you see him go out there and just not be able to do anything, you can't doubt him, especially today. Or tomorrow.
Let him prove it.
Today, but yeah.
Then the second game, it's a 9:00 game, our time, Central Time, is the Chargers and Broncos, and they got the Chargers +3. So I'm still gonna go with the Chargers. I know the Broncos have a great defense, but I think the Chargers are I think Old Man Rivers is gonna lead them into a victory.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm going with the Broncos.
Me too.
I still am iffy about their quarterback, but with the defense as good as it is, and then the Chargers for some reason against the Broncos always find a way to lose. Even when they can start off good, and they'll find a way to lose against the Broncos. I don't know if it's just that whole division factor or the rivalry factor, but they always find a way to lose to the Broncos.
Rivers doesn't have very good games against the Broncos, against their secondary. The receivers don't do well. It's going to be tough.
He starts getting hit, starts throwing interceptions too.
That Broncos O-line is not very good, though. I know they picked up Ron Leary, but it's they may allow a lot of sacks, and the Chargers may put up the points on there, and the Broncos may not be able to keep up.
It's all going to be about
Joey
field
Bosa
position.
Day?
Yeah.
You think Joey Bosa is going
to have a good game,
making some noise today?
I think so.
I think he's going to make noise all season.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so too.
I
think so too.
I think he's only going to get better from his rookie season.
Yeah, he started late last year and still was one of the best rookies in the league, one of the best defensive players.
He got a full training camp this time. Remember, last year he was, waiting on that contract before he went to training camp. So
Okay. And before we cover the big game tonight and the spread, does anybody got anything for the get lined up before we move on and talk about it?
Yeah, actually, Stuart just asked which rookie running back is going to be this year's Ezekiel Elliott.
I think we saw it on Thursday.
I think we saw it Thursday.
Y'all think so?
I think it's only one game a scene, but man, he was going off, bro.
Yeah, he was. For somebody that's not playing, I've been talking about him all season. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be that dude.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say right now,
touchdowns.
too.
When you think Zeke, you think touchdowns, and then McCaffrey, he can run it in, and he can also get those short screen passes and get those touchdowns. Carolina is known for always being in the goal line, it seems like, all the time, or in the red zone all the time and doing different things. So I think
what might hurt him, though, is just that he would have to compete in the red zone with Cam Newton, too, though.
And Stewart, yeah, that's true. And Cam's a little hurt, too, so that might help.
But him being
McCaffrey.
a dual-threat running back, he is pretty complete running back. I watched him a few times when he was at Stanford, and the dude is a beast, man. And to me, like, when you have a dual-threat running back like that, anything is possible. If he gets open field, gets downfield quick, man, it's going to be something else.
Okay.
But then I also want to see Dalvin Cook, too, so we'll see how.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's, a lot of people got a buzz going around him. I don't know, man. Kareem Hunt
He could catch.
Or Christian McCaffrey is definitely one to watch. I think I'm ready to see how they're going to utilize him. And, like someone mentioned, Carolina in the red zone, that's Cam Newton's, field of expertise.
Yeah. And Buhi, I believe it is.
That's
okay, there you go.
Akeem Talib is out for the game.
Wow. So
I mean, Keenan Allen could have a big game.
He should have a bigger game. Yeah, definitely. So I mean, they still are a good secondary. Chris Harris over there too. So that's going to open some things up for Keenan Allen and possibly for Tyrell Williams, who may benefit from also getting the third best corner against him. So I really wasn't confident in starting him. I have him in my bench.
I have him on the bench too.
Yeah, but I really wasn't about to start him against the Broncos. I don't think this alone, though, would make me want to go put him in over the guys.
I'm going to wait to start him until Keenan Allen gets hurt.
Yeah. Not a bad.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Not a bad strategy.
And then, of course, we've mentioned the players to I wouldn't say not avoid, but not start anybody that plays with Miami or Tampa. I'm sorry.
For sure, them. If you do, then
Tampa.
sorry, buddy.
That's on you. The lineup is, and I see a lot of people dropping Willie Snead. He's suspended for 3 games. I picked him up and have him on my bench so he comes back. I think he'll be a key role. So that's my pick him for my scoop up of the week. In our league, in our chocolate leagues, I don't know who dropped him, but I had I forgot who I had. It was a scrub that I didn't need, so it was a good pickup.
Nice pickup.
I could have him sitting on the bench for 3 weeks and
be on the
all
lookout
right.
for that. Yeah, just in case he might be available in your league. I didn't even think of that. I didn't think anybody would drop him, so I wouldn't drop him personally. So I wouldn't even think anybody would.
Yeah,
drop
someone
him.
in our league dropped him.
That's
Whoever.
tough. You never know
so
with
thanks
the NFL.
whoever it was in the chocolate league for Willie Snead. I forgot who I dropped for Willie Snead, but it was a non-factor, so it's a definitely upgrade to my team. So
and it looks like Steven Smith agrees with you guys about the Chargers winning. So he says the Broncos are going to lose. So maybe. Yeah, maybe. If Talib doesn't play, and Abba also stated that Talib is questionable, so we'll see if he doesn't play. But I mean, even if he's banged up, it should give the Chargers an edge.
Yeah.
You can't count Rivers out. So
old man Rivers, man.
Yep. So.
I know we had an awards list that we got together for our predictions for the season, MVP, Rookies of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. So we're gonna go over that and we'll see how wrong we were later on. Again, this is week 1. We haven't even watched any games yet. But does anybody want to start off with their MVP for the year? Anybody who they got?
I'm going with the homer pick, Dak Prescott.
Nice.
Second year, he's going to step up. He's going to have a better year than last year. I'm calling it.
Well, he stole my thunder.
Yeah, that's who I had picked.
I'm not even
All
trying to
right.
be biased. I just honestly feel that Dak is not going to have a sophomore slump. I think he has the perfect team built for him for this year. He went in there and did his thing last year. This team didn't lose anything big on the offensive side. To me, they just got better. They added some key wide receivers that, they're going to add to our depth. We got Zeke back. Our running depth is still good behind Zeke too if we need it. The offensive line, everybody already knows, is it's like the Great Wall of China. You can't penetrate it. So to me, I think Dak is going to have an awesome year. If we can make it deep in the playoffs, I don't see why he shouldn't be the most valuable player.
I have Dak too.
You have Dak?
Yeah, I have Dak.
Everything that he said.
Pretty much.
I picked Aaron Rodgers just because he's always in the mix for that every year. Even if they suck, if they're great, if they suck, it's because he doesn't have any weapons, and he still got him in the hunt. So I could see Aaron Rodgers just being there, because he does a lot with little, and he's always done that.
He is always in the mix every year.
Yeah.
Defensive player of the year. Does anybody have anybody that's not a Cowboy? No, I don't think we all. We're not. These aren't all homer picks, guys. So
I'll start it since I picked Jadeveon Clowney. I think he's gonna have a big year because of J.J. Watt being back. Last year he showed what he can do. His first year he had an injury. Second year he showed that he's worth that pick. This year with Watt and him, I think it's a toss up between either one. I know Watt's hurt, so that's what gave me the notion to pick Jadeveon Clowney.
I'm gonna give my Chiefs fans out there a defensive player of the year. I'm gonna go with Justin Houston. He's looking back in form. I think he's gonna be stepping up for the defensive team now with the injury. He's looking like the Justin Houston of old. So I was impressed with what I saw. So I'm gonna go with Justin Houston.
I went with Jadeveon Clowney, not knowing that he picked him, but with J.J. Watt coming back, I think that's just gonna give Jadeveon Clowney more opportunities to make plays. Last year, with J.J. Watt out, they still had one of the best defenses. He was doing really good last year without J.J. Watt. And I think you put J.J. Watt and him in there, they're going to be really hard to stop on that defensive line. And Clowney, his first couple of seasons in the league wasn't as hot. It was somebody that there was a lot of high expectations, and now the expectations are gone, and he's actually producing now. And I think he's just been getting better every year since. So I see him doing a lot of noise on that defensive line.
Word.
Not to mention they play in the AFC South, so he has a lot of opportunities against some teams to get some plays.
Yeah, Scott Tolzien.
Bortles.
I picked last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joey Bosa. I think he's only going to get better this year. Last year he played in 12 games. He had 10.5 sacks. So a full season, you could see him getting 15, 16 sacks. To me, that's enough to get Defensive Player of the Year.
And some of our chatters, we got Ubba with Von Miller, and Stewart's got Rodgers as MVP.
Yeah.
So, it's Von Miller's. He's always in the mix. That's a good pick. He's definitely a game changer when he plays. So that's not a bad. That's not a bad option.
Sacks, yeah, big time fumbles, everything. He's always in the mix.
Texas native.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk. I love Von Miller. He's one of my favorite players to watch. So
and his Old Spice commercials are hilarious.
Yeah, he's got great personality. Also, yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year.
David Johnson for me.
David Johnson. I got Zeke. I think he'll get it this year. Just to throw it into Roger Goodell's face, man. I think he's gonna play all year, and we'll get into that. But I think he's just a running back of the year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, once again, not just because he's a Cowboy. I mean, I am a Cowboys fan, but to me, Zeke Elliott last year should have broke the rookie rushing record. They pulled him out towards the end of the season. He wasn't running as much as he could have. He would have broke the record. This year, he's going to be running with even more purpose. With the whole suspension thing going, just to stick it to Roger Goodell. I think he's going to be out there just running like a beast. I mean, we've already seen what he can do. So it's his second year in the league, so he's gonna get better. He's got the best offensive line in the league to me. Arguably there's a couple other lines that are out there that are top notch, but he's running behind one of the best offensive lines. We have weapons on the outside to keep they can't box keep the box full on him, so we can spread it out. He can catch. So he's going to have a great season to me. And if they can make some noise in the playoffs, he has a chance of being the Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, he might have it just as much or not more rushing yards than last year.
Le'Veon Bell. Contract year. The dude can catch the ball from the backfield. He can run the ball. He does it all, man.
He's a beast, man. He is definitely a beast. That's a solid pick. I'm going to just edge out Zeke just because I think he's, like Emmanuel said, he's running with a purpose now to prove a point and just to throw it into the NFL's face. Like, hey, this is what I'm here to do.
Right. Y'all forget Tom Brady won a Super Bowl after being suspended by Goodell. So, I'm not
there you
saying.
go. Hey, there you go.
I'm just saying.
I got you.
Then we have Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I picked Mike Tomlin because I have high expectations for the Pittsburgh Steelers for them to even go to the Super Bowl.
I went with Mike Tomlin as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I went with Mike Mularkey. The Titans, they've been getting better for the last 2 years now. They've gotten better. Last year, if Mariota hadn't gotten hurt, I think they would have done a lot better. This year, they added some pieces on offense. Their defense is strong. Their running game is set up kind of like us. They have a strong offensive line. They got a 1-2 punch with DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. And now they got a couple wide receivers, over there with Eric Decker getting signed, and they got a rookie wide receiver. And honestly, I think in that division, they have a chance to win the division and make it into the playoffs. I just see them, being a more improved team, and they've gotten better over the last couple of years. And I think this is the year that they kind of go over that hump of not being one of the top teams in the league.
I'm going to go on the other side of the ball with that. I got Jack Del Rio. I'm buying into the Oakland hype. I think they're going to be a force to reckon with, especially with Carr coming back. And I think, we've mentioned it a few times, if Carr would have stayed healthy, they would have gotten in a deeper run. So I'm going to go with Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, cool. And Javier's asking if we're going to have a fantasy segment.
Yeah. We kind of jumped over to start talking about for the questions. But, yeah, the segment to start and all that is definitely coming up here after these last couple predictions, which we have a few left. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I
picked Jabril Peppers with the Cleveland Browns. I think he's going to be special what he does. I think they're also going to take into account what he can do if they're able to put him on special teams also. So I think that's going to help him stand out.
I got T.J. Watt showing out this year. Follow suit with his brother, compete. He wants to get it. I think he's not going to want to be compared and be called, hey, that's J.J. Watt's brother. I think he wants to make a name for his own, and I think he's a good fit where he's at. So I'm definitely going to go T.J. Watt with my pick.
Yeah, I actually chose T.J. Watt as well, just because he had a stellar preseason. He's already took the starting position, the starting job from James Harrison, one of the best linebackers in the league the last 4 or 5 years, and he's got a chance with Pittsburgh being one of the top teams in the league also, of being, people watching him, people seeing him make plays. And if he can do anything what he was doing, close to what he was doing in the preseason, I don't see why he can't win rookie defensive player of the year. He's got the talent. If he's anything close to what his brother is, like you said, he's going to be trying to make a name for himself so he doesn't keep getting compared. He's going to have a great season, so we'll see how it goes with him over there in Pittsburgh. I just don't want them to win another Super Bowl.
Please don't.
Well, I went with Myles Garrett. I know he's injured right now. I know he has a high ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a little bit, but I feel like he's going to come back and beast. The dude's a monster. He can get back there.
He's quick
to the quarterback. Yeah. So I went with Myles Garrett. That's banking on that he's not out for more than 2-3 games.
Yeah.
Right, hopefully not.
Yeah. Who do you have for the Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I think we saw it on Thursday.
I think so too.
Is it cheating if we say Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
I don't know. I picked McCaffrey.
That's the sample size that I've gotten so far. So
I picked McCaffrey, and I pretty much told y'all why. I mean, I think he's going to be a special player. A lot of catches, a lot of touchdowns.
I got Kareem Hunt. I like what I saw from him being a dual threat running back. He hits those corners. If he gets out in open space and gets downfield, he's gone.
And he didn't let that fumble phase him at all.
You
would think a rookie.
That was his first fumble too.
He came back from it. He was upset on himself.
The irony. Let him have it. Everybody down the sideline was getting on him. So it was. Yeah, he bounced back in a major way, big time.
Yeah.
Speaking of bounce backs, NFL comeback player of the year.
Nice segue, sir. I have Jalen Smith, Dallas Cowboys own. He's going to be making his debut today, so I'm amped up to see him. I'm hoping he does big things and makes a big difference in our linebacker core. He's going to be playing middle linebacker today. So
yeah, I'm excited to see him
tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to edge it out. I'm going to give it to J.J. Watt just because he's maybe a bigger known name, and he is all the stuff that's going on this year, and him being healthy again. I'm giving it to J.J. Watt.
I'm gonna give it to Marcus Mariota. He was doing really great last year before he got hurt. His team's been getting better. It's his third season. Fourth season now?
His third.
Third season, that's right. And he's done nothing but gotten better. Since he's been in the league as well, they've set him up for success, getting him the weapons that he needs, the running game that he needs, the offensive line that he needs. Their defensive side of their team isn't up to par with their offense, but they're good enough now that, you have to include them in the playoff picture. And if they can make it into the playoffs or, at least win a playoff game, to me, he can have a comeback of the year coming back from that injury and making the playoffs. So
I went with Hugo. I went with J.J. Watt. So, he's going to come back strong.
I think so. I think he's amped up for everything that's been happening in Houston, too. So.
Yeah.
It makes a great story for the NFL as well. That may play a part into it, too. They got to get their ratings, of course, Evil Goddell over there. But, yeah, man, I know it's almost game time, so we definitely want to cover over some of the fantasy. I know you had some questions we've answered already, but now we'll get into our segment. Do you guys have anybody who you for sure would say is a must start?
Must start today, guys. Anybody?
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
Him obviously. Yeah, definitely.
Le'Veon. It really all depends on who's on your team and what your league looks like. But
do y'all have any questions, guys, over who to start, anything like that? One guy to watch out for, Odell Beckham Jr. tonight. He might not play, so that's
it may be risky if you wait till 7:30 and he's not playing.
And if he does play, is he going to be himself?
Right.
So that's a big question mark. I would avoid Jets players.
Yeah.
Pretty much anybody on the Jets offense.
And we mentioned it before. Anybody canceled games, make sure you don't start them. There's a lot of big names there. Another one, some of your. It all depends on who they play too. Like Melvin Gordon's gonna have a tough matchup. He's playing. As much as I think they're still gonna win, how good is he gonna be against that? Von Miller can shadow him as much as needed, and the defense is still good. I think the Chargers will still win, but is it a favorable matchup for you to start him against the Denver's defense?
Yeah,
it's also who they're playing. I think that's one for me to watch out. If you have Melvin Gordon, is that's a risky move, but it can pay out. They may still win, but yeah, Denver's still no joke. I do give him credit.
I could see Todd Gurley having a big game against that Indy defense. Especially if they get up on them.
Yeah.
They want to run the ball, control the clock, and Gurley could get those garbage points. Or
I think Frank Gore is a player to avoid for sure for this week.
Yeah.
Going against that Rams defensive line, even with Donald being out for this game, even though he's going to be back now that he's ended his holdout. I still think the Frank Gore they're gonna stack the box on him because that quarterback is not somebody that anybody's scared of.
Oh, we got a caller.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
How's it going? Who we got on the line?
Hey, it's Javier.
Hey, what's up, Javier?
What's up, Javier?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Shout out. I've been listening to you guys for was 2 episodes now, man.
Appreciate
want to show some love.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for calling in.
I actually did have a fantasy question.
Okay.
As far as the flex, would you start Pierre Garçon, Keenan Allen, or C.J. Anderson in your flex?
Are you in a PPR or is it a standard league?
Yeah, it's PPR.
My gut tells me Pierre Garçon because of Brian Hoyer and him just throwing all those YOLO balls out there, and he's their number one locked-in receiver. And then you got Keenan Allen going against the Broncos, and Rivers just not doing so well. I would go with Garçon.
Who was the third one?
I would go with Garçon too.
C.J. Anderson.
I would go with Garçon just for the fact that they are probably going to fall behind,
and they got to throw the ball,
and they're going to have to throw the ball to catch up. So, I think Garçon probably in a PPR league would be with who I would go for in the flex.
Okay.
So with Anderson,
I'm going against Mr. Chili Willie there. We got the Pupusa goal bowl.
It doesn't matter who you start, bro. It doesn't matter.
He just gave you the rock.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Who are you countering in the flex? Do you know off the top?
You
don't even know. He doesn't even
my
know.
team's too good. I don't even pay attention.
Javier, by chance?
Shots fired.
Javier, do you happen to know who Will has in his flex?
Who's in my flex?
I'm not sure. I didn't take a look.
You didn't even care, right?
Either way,
it doesn't matter, right?
Kind of cold.
Okay. Well, good luck to both of you guys, man. I appreciate the question. I would go with Garçon. Is there anybody you're leaning towards, Javier?
That's what I have.
I would
have
go with
Cortona
I
in
think
there.
just
Let us
playing
know
from
how it
behind.
works.
Yeah,
we'll
playing
keep
from
an eye
behind.
on that. See how we did
Yeah,
on that one.
yeah.
Shots
I
fired,
figured
Will.
he's gonna
Shots
get a lot of-
fired.
You can leave it on empty.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good
We
morning.
appreciate you
Thank
calling
you.
in, man, and checking the show out.
All right, later.
Yeah, and okay, well, I guess we'll get to that. in a
Which one?
second. Was talking about the questions on the Cowboys' offensive line.
Man, we
But
can jump into
let's just
it.
go with
Let's
the
get it.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Everybody wants to talk about the Cowboys. You
Let's
guys are
one
talking about
more.
everybody else. I
We
don't
have one
care,
fantasy
honestly.
question.
One more fantasy question.
Yeah, it says who should I flex? This is Stewart. Who should I flex? West or Macklin with Baltimore or Mixon?
Ooh, okay.
Says he's thinking West since Macklin may need time to develop chemistry and Mixon may not be the guy for two more weeks. What do you guys think?
I would go with Macklin just because I like him and I know he puts
He's
up
been
sneaky
proven,
points all
yeah.
the
The
time.
veteran
yeah,
presence
he's a
there.
veteran. He's
Yeah.
their number one receiver, no doubt. West is going to be in the mix with
Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead. I would
And more
I
red
think-
zone, I think.
I think
Woodhead's
higher
a red-
ceiling.
a red zone
I
vulture.
think Macklin has a higher ceiling, especially with Flacco. If he does come back and play, which pretty much everyone expects him to do, I think he'll be okay.
And not to mention,
Macklin.
with Macklin, you got Wallace also that they got to cover, so that'll give him some opportunities as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Mixon, but like he said, I mean, they still have Hill and they still have Bernard, so it's going to be tough to call. And then they throw a lot.
I think Macklin's your safest.
I think so. Personally, I would roll with Macklin. And look at the guys that have been number one receivers in Baltimore. They've had some crappy ones, and they've still
They put up
produced
points.
He just has the higher ceiling because at any time, even though Macklin, even though he may not have the chemistry, all it takes is one play for him to get loose and
He's still
get out
quick,
of
man.
there.
He still has that step
Yeah.
too. So
Very underrated.
he's probably your safest bet.
He said it's standard league as well.
Even in the
standard
standard league, I
Yeah.
mean, PPR makes a difference if you have those players that aren't the number one receivers that will do a lot of productivity. But when you have Macklin, I would go with Macklin.
I would too. So good luck, Stuart. Let us know how that works, bro.
All right, so now to the big game Sunday night. The Giants are favored by 4.5, or the Cowboys are favored, and they're giving the Giants 4.5 points. But as we all know, Zeke's in. The suspension was he was granted his injunction, so suspension's off for right now. So free to beast, let him go.
Easy.
Man, I think it's
the
going to be a
beast.
hell of a game. I think that the Cowboys are going to come in, they have a point to prove that hey, we can take these guys down. I know their defense is tough, but man, with Zeke in, it's just hyped up. He's ready to go. I see
Season
him.
opener,
Yeah, man, he's
division
going
game.
beast,
Yeah.
man. I think he's going to go beast mode tonight.
Yeah.
Very tough.
I agree. I think another one is probably going to have a hell of a game is Des Bryant. He was hurt last year. This year he's had a full training camp working with Dak Prescott, and a lot of what I saw in training camp and in the practices, man,
You see
their
that-
chemistry is on
it's
another
better.
level right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
we saw a little bit of what they can do in the preseason. He had a couple of bombs to Des Bryant, and I think he's gonna have a big game tonight. To be honest with you,
I know there was in the comments there was someone mentioned the O line. I know that there's
Yeah, they were asking Chaz Green, who should we go with at the guard position? Chaz Green, who's older vet but is banged up with the ankle injury, or Jonathan Cooper, and they stated that it's not very good. I would go with Chaz Green.
he's a natural guard.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's why trying to move a tackle, there is some different techniques. But he's a natural guard, so I would go with the natural guard. But he is banged up a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think when you have the rest of the line to fall back on, I think the line's still going to be one of the best lines.
And we know what we have in Green, also the familiarity and the line with the offensive line more than any other position that makes a difference. So
I don't think Green's going to get the start, if I'm not mistaken. But I would definitely rely on him more, being a natural
can
guard in
make
that
it.
position to start. But
Green has the potential, but then Cooper, was a first round talent. He has come in here. It's his first year with the Cowboys and has become the starter through preseason. So, what kind of work he's put in if he's become the starter over Green. Green with his health issues, I don't know. If he's healthy, I think he has the more upside. But Cooper has done everything that they've asked from him. To start the season off in training camp and in preseason, he showed what he's capable of. He hasn't lived up to his first round hype, but if we can get him to be on board and bring what we know he's capable of, or he's shown that he's capable of, it could be a nice feel. So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
it's definitely a game of the week for a reason. Man, I think there's so much hype built up. I think the main thing is just I want Zeke just beast off and just throw it in Goddell's
And we keep
face,
talking about the Cowboys. The Giants, on the other hand, they did sweep us last year, and they held Dak to his shortest yards per attempt, and Zeke's longest run was at 15 yards. So the defense is pretty good. Eli Manning's good, as we've talked about over some episodes.
I think one of the biggest stories out of the game is probably going to be that defensive line against our offensive line, too.
Yeah.
With Jason Pierre-Paul, that's even with the short-handed hand that he's got.
Snacks in the middle. Yeah, they got a lot of good defensive linemen, so they're going to be giving Dak some trouble today. So.
And, I mean, they did get swept last year, but they weren't blowouts. The first game was 2019, and that's because I can't remember who it was that caught that ball. They couldn't get out of bounds.
Terrence Williams.
You got to get out of bounds. That was just a boneheaded play, man.
Yeah.
But
never forget.
But the second game was 7-10. So, I mean, they weren't blown out. They were really good games. It's just they just had that edge, man. And the defense was the issue last year, and then again we're facing them with new weapons now, so that's definitely a concern of mine. I'm just gonna be real. They have the threat to just manhandle and pick us apart in the secondary if we can't get any pressure on Eli. But once you put that pressure on, man, it's just he's gonna toss it up and someone's gonna be eating.
We're gonna see one of the rookie secondary players is gonna step up and show us that they really want to be here, that they really want to get paid. And get the starting position at some point in the season. So they have every opportunity to come in here and be a playmaker this year. We got Jordan Lewis, and then we got I don't even know how to what he said. So hopefully they can have Eli Manning doing that dumb face today. So
that's what we're hoping for.
That's what we're hoping for. But I mean, you got to think about it. If Odell plays, and then now they got that Brandon Marshall, and then they got Sterling Shepard. They got some good wide receivers that can burn us. So we gotta get some pressure. I'm hoping Taco can get some sacks. Hopefully he can eat too, like Zeke.
Hey,
I'm excited. I'm super excited to see Jalen Smith. I've been talking him up for a year now since they drafted him. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I saw him play at Notre Dame. I know what he's capable of, and from everything that's come out of training camp, out of the locker room, they said the dude's an absolute beast when it comes to working out. His physique, his speed, and now they're talking that he might end up being the starter tonight. So I'm really super excited to see what Jalen Smith is going to do.
Speaking of Jalen, we have his giveaway that we're going to do in a minute of this poster of JSA certified. So we
16 by 20 autograph
we're all in on
photo.
Jalen. We're big fans of his.
Yeah,
so
certification stickers on there, autograph. This is going to be in a giveaway here in just a little bit. So make sure you stay tuned for when we do the raffle. We're going to go old school, get a hat. We got the names already printed out. So this is going to be given out today, guys. This is definitely something to have.
All our viewers, everybody that's been on there today is eligible as well. We're taking names right now. I'm writing them down as everybody's chatting in, and just everybody that's been down with us from the beginning. We appreciate it, and we're going to show y'all some love. And if we have to ship it, then we'll ship it.
So make sure y'all share our page. There'll be more opportunities to win free stuff. So who doesn't like free stuff?
Love free stuff.
For sure.
Do you think that maybe our offense is also going to be part of our defense with ball control now that Zeke? Do we know we can hold the ball back?
I think so.
Fourth quarter.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta stick to the running game. You gotta burn that clock. You gotta score when you get your opportunities. You can't just get into the red zone and not score. We've been there before.
Yeah, lots.
I want to see some more longer passes from Dak too. I want to see the play calling call for some longer passes too with him and Dez. And I'm excited to see Ryan Switzer on the offensive side of the ball and see if he's going to be returning the ball. I want to see that, man. That's going to be. We haven't had a returner or a solid returner for a while now, so I think we're lacking in special teams, and I think we can get better if Ryan Switzer can return the ball like he was doing in college, and it'll step our special teams, up. Of course, our kicker's been has been our special team. Dan the Man Bailey, but awesome. I want to see our return game get back to on point.
Yeah, and definitely it's gonna be. That's definitely the game to watch. Again, they're giving the Giants 4.5 points, so it's
gonna be tough. I don't think they cover. Personally, I have the score at 24-20 Cowboys. I think it'll be a close game all around. It'll come down to the final minutes.
Yeah. Maybe a field goal.
I have them covering. Honestly, I think they're gonna win about 27-20. Is my prediction.
21-17 for me, Cowboys.
Yeah, I had it at 21-14. Just one. I think it'd be a touchdown. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of special teams. It's gonna be a lot of field control. I think. I don't know, man. It's just how we can get Eli pressured and haven't shown that depth.
Ronnie said boys by 100 points.
Yeah, I wish. I hope so.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And Priscilla says, nice lighting. It looks good. Do we look good in the blue, Priscilla?
Thanks,
what do you think?
Priscilla. What do you think?
Holla, 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 holla.
Or is it because I shaved that nasty beard that I had? Because I don't want to look like Mike Patricia
Priscilla.
anymore.
Shout out to the tech guy for the new lighting.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Minos the man.
Holding it down, getting the phone call situation taken care of from last week. We had a couple issues, but we got it covered.
And we thank you guys for
We're
calling in.
We're
Don't
learning,
forget,
we're growing.
You can still call in if you want to just root the Cowboys on and call in and be loud. Hey, do it, man. It's game day. This is the best part of the season. It's not so hot outside. It's kind of fresh. When I walked out this morning,
Time for
we're
some
gonna
Not only
smoke.
that, but I mean, yesterday we had all day football too. Let's
Oh,
talk about
man.
some college
Man,
games.
there was some
Ohio State
games.
got upset by Oklahoma.
Ooh, Oklahoma.
Oh man,
OU
Oklahoma
is looking
back.
great, man.
They're
As
looking-
much as I despise that team because I am a Texas native, and it's a great rivalry, but OU is looking great, man.
They went
They're
there.
looking. I would, man. I'll give respects out.
Baker Mayfield.
Man,
Oh, man,
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's on the mission.
That
man.
story,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
story is
It's
going to be
great,
a story.
man.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What did you think about him putting the flag down on
I
the
think that's
50
what every sport
Yeah.
needs, man. Build
Yeah.
those rivalries, bro.
Hey.
I mean,
He
they
was-
sang their fight song in Oklahoma last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can you not get mad?
He
Yeah.
was pumped.
He
That's
was-
true.
yeah,
He was
he was
extra
ready.
He
pumped.
got
That
me
was pretty
pumped, and I'm
awesome.
not an OU
Yeah,
fan.
me neither, man. And they were so mad about being not even a glimmer of winning against a number 2 team.
Yeah.
They did move up in the rankings to number 5, and but when you go to play Ohio State at the Horseshoe, bro, that's a tough place to play,
Yeah.
and it's Ohio State. That's a well-regarded team. So I'm sure they were a little upset that they were, they moved up 2 spots from 7 to 5 from the
So,
preseason.
Do y'all think Oklahoma's really that good, or Ohio State is just not as good as people
No, I
think?
think Oklahoma's that good,
yeah.
man. Ohio State's not a team that you just.
I say we'll see. I think they're gonna lose to like Oklahoma State or somebody
You think so?
random something real late
Right.
later on in the season. Even Texas, you never know. Those games are always good.
Those games are good. The last couple of years they've been pretty. Texas is like the one win they get of the years
Yeah,
against
Oklahoma
Oklahoma.
State's
those
gonna be
matters.
tough.
Rivalry games are tough.
Oklahoma
Yeah.
State
I
looked
like the
good
way
too,
they
man.
look.
They
They are
blew
pretty
out.
good.
They blew out their team on Friday
Yeah,
night
but
too, man.
For now, we'll give them their props.
I give them their props for now.
yeah.
Yeah, they're still going to be OU for me, but they're looking strong, man. We'll see. Strength of schedule plays into a part of where they ranked at too. But I was definitely surprised that Ohio just laid out and they beat them by a lot.
Yeah, and Clemson got it upset too over Auburn.
Over
I can't
Auburn?
believe that they were. Was it 5-point dogs?
Yep.
Nah, they were favored.
They were favorite. Okay, so Clemson was favorite.
Clemson was favored.
Yeah, they
It was
were
14.
favored.
It was only 14-6. So that was a very defensive game. So everyone was up on Clemson's offense last year, but their defense this year is looking great, man.
Dabo's a great coach, man. It
He
doesn't
is.
matter who he has in there. He always has good guys. Their defensive line's always awesome. They always have athletic players on the offense, so you can't cut them out of their quarterback. They just put in a new guy that looks just like, playing-wise, looks like
Right.
Watson,
So,
And, as much as I hate to bring it up, my team got upset yesterday.
Yeah.
that
That's
was another
very
top
sad.
25 matchup, man. Georgia, I still got to give Notre Dame credit because they just got into the top. They got put in
To the
last week.
rankings.
They got into 24. Last week, Texas and West Virginia were out, and then we had TCU and Notre Dame come into the top 25. Everything else was kind of just moves here, up and there,
Yeah.
up and down. So they added TCU and Notre Dame, and in Notre Dame, man, they played a hell of a game. They should have had that last drive, except for that fumble that killed them, man. Their defense was looking really good to be holding up Georgia like that, but Georgia has a good running game too.
Man, did you see the catch, the Odell Beckham-esque catch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
That was a nice catch,
Yeah.
It's
man.
pretty awesome. It's probably going to be catch of the year already.
It should-
It's
it
barely
prob-
the first game.
So far, so good. But I don't know if Notre Dame stays in the top 25 with that loss. Now, they did lose to a tougher team, so that it gives them some credit that they didn't play a powder puff team and got, and lost. It was 2 teams in the top 25. But we'll see, man. We'll see if they can stay in the top 25. USC and Stanford played too.
Man.
That was USC's running game is
It's for real.
Yeah.
it's nasty, man. They're looking good. They're looking. A lot of these old school powerhouses are coming back. USC and Oklahoma. There was a late game, and that was just the last game. But there was those games were on at the same time. It was hard to keep
These
track
are
of
the
all three.
big time
of them.
games. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough doing this. And then USC.
Yeah, USC.
Stanford?
Yeah, USC Stanford. It was 42-24. So they just steamrolled another top team. I think it wasn't really out there, but SMU was playing North Texas, and they put up.
Will's happy.
They held it together. They put some points on the board.
Yeah.
SMU put up 54 the first week.
Yeah, I got a text from my cousin John. Shout out to him. He was at the game, and they dropped 50 on us.
They drew another 50. Do you think it's something to consider to maybe put up in the rankings, or do you think it's still time yet?
No, they still got time.
I
go to a lot of SMU games and watch them, and they still got time.
They play TCU next week.
If they could beat TCU, then they'll be talking. But even TCU has their flaws too. So
Stewart said he was happy Ohio State got whooped. He
said, I'm sure a lot of people.
He said big blue for him. He said that Coach Kaki gonna put it on Ohio State. Coach Kaki done hardball, by the way.
Michigan got bumped up to number 8, and they beat Cincy 36-14. So
they didn't cover the spread though. They were plus 33.
If you're watching that type of stuff.
And there was a few games canceled as well with all the hurricane stuff. Yeah, the Florida State, Miami, and Arkansas. UFC and UConn got canceled. So man, again, just keep in mind, keep them in your prayers. We can't straight that enough, but. Man, there was a lot of games. I like to focus on and
Alabama's still looking strong.
Man, they blew out Fresno State, which is another unranked team. But
I didn't cover the spread.
Strong was doing his thing though.
The degenerate with the spreads.
I'm just saying.
No, yeah, I think there was a lot of good games, and having 3 at the same time was kind of hard to keep up with. But it was definitely worth watching.
That Iowa State game was fun too.
Shouts out to Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. You had a good week.
Yeah, West Virginia Tech was a good game. Also, that came down to the end.
Washington's looking strong too.
Washington's looking really good, man. They blew out Montana 63-7. Now I know Montana may not be known for football, but still, man, they put up 63 pretty easily. Like you said, Washington's looking really good. Penn State's up there. Clemson's up there. Michigan's up there, up in the higher rankings. Oklahoma State. So there's a lot of good teams up there that have been. Top teams. There wasn't a lot of movement in the top 25 though. Just those 2 that came in and out.
Yeah, it's tough.
But next week, there's some good games next week. If I don't know, the Miami-Florida game was postponed next week too. But you got Tennessee and Florida playing, and then Clemson and Louisville with 2 top 25 teams that are going to be.
Man, we didn't even speak about Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville's
returning Heisman winner.
Jackson.
Man, they had a hell of a game.
Yeah, they put up 47 against North Carolina.
Breaking passing records, boy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Louisville's looking strong this year.
Over 500 yards passing.
I'm excited to see that TCU SMU game though.
Me too. I'm gonna try to go if possible. It's over there at TCU, so I'm gonna try to go if I can. But either way, I'm gonna be locked in on it. It should be good. SMU's looking better.
I know we had talked about it before the show last week. A&M played against UCLA,
right,
and ended up getting destroyed. So I know someone was on the hot seat. They did win last week, but it wasn't against anybody that's they should have lost to.
Mm-hmm.
You guys think he's still on the hot seat?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The rest of the season, he's going to be one of those top names to watch out for. If they keep losing or they lose to one of those teams that they should definitely beat, and losing streak, anything like that, I think his days are numbered. No matter what, even with the first game.
Shout out to Raphael. He said, happy first Sunday of football.
Hey,
yes, sir. Thank you. We got you in the raffle, Raphael.
Thank you,
too.
baby Jesus. It's football
make
season.
sure we got
it
you
should
in
be.
there.
It should be a holiday, man.
No, for real.
You know, when you walk outside, you're going to smell all the grills going.
Hey, if y'all having cookouts, y'all could always invite us, too. We'd like to come check out people's food.
Yeah, Raphael's still trying to recruit for that Triple G fan club group that he's trying to get going. So good luck with that against Canelo. Yeah, man. And Priscilla said shout out to all the out-of-state Dallas Cowboys fans. And
shout out to
Lorena.
Nationwide,
Ohio.
I saw she posted some pictures out there. And she's not the only one. That's pretty awesome. So everywhere. I mean, we're all over the place.
There's we got fan clubs in different countries too. You know, Mexico got a big Cowboys fan club over there too. So.
And the reason I shout out LeBron is because he's a Cowboys fan.
And then the NFL is trying to host more games in Mexico too, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Europe, it's a global game, so they're doing everything.
The Cowboys definitely have a lot of celebrity fans, man. Right. I didn't know Chris Paul was a Cowboys fan.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
Yeah, definitely. But I guess with the NFL and the college wrapped up, we're just going to give a quick shout out to the Rangers.
The Rangers still in the hunt.
Staying in there.
Somehow, 2.5 games out. Stop me if you've heard that before. And they still have a chance and still have a few teams in front of them. One thing that we hadn't touched on was Jake Diekman. He had his colon removed and is now playing again. So big shout out to him.
Shout out to
Props
Jake
to him.
D, man.
That's a miracle in itself, and
It's always a good
that
story,
he's even
man.
able to play. Yeah, that's awesome. It's remarkable. So you have to root for him,
And he's coming back at a time where he may be a factor in getting some of these wins to get him in the wild card.
He's
so
a solid.
There's still a month. There's still a month of baseball left, and
Martin Perez has been pitching his butt off.
Not to mention Gallo, one of the top home run hitters this year.
Mazzara stepped back
Andrews.
up again. Yeah, and they've been doing well without Beltre too. So I know a couple days ago they were 5-2 without Beltre, and they're still scoring about 8 runs a game. So that's pretty remarkable that they're doing that minus their best hitter.
If they make playoffs, is Beltre back by then?
There's a possibility that he could come if they go deeper in the playoffs. So, but you never know with a hamstring.
Hope so. You never know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he didn't look right even when he came back the first time. He looked like he wasn't moving so much, and when he would run, like I said last show, he didn't take the extra base, or when something was shot his way, he kind of made a move, and then he didn't really go too far. But man, I'm glad they're doing good. I'm be honest as can be. I have tuned out from the Rangers for a bit just because there's so much going on with football. But yeah, they're still in the hunt. Hopefully they can make it in. The Astros are having some struggles, but
yeah, they got a lot of division games at the end, so that may help them. It could hurt them. They've been bad against the division. They're like 27-29. Last I checked, against the division for the season. So we got 8 series left.
I just feel like they can't lose any of the series that remain.
Yeah, they can't. They lost to the Yankees.
They've been
that's
winning
gonna be
series.
tough.
Lost the Yankee series yesterday. Yeah, so that's gonna be tough on them.
They just got to win. I mean, they're the team that goes away and comes right back, man. But there's a month left, so we'll see how far they get, and if they can get maybe build up a few win streaks and
never ever quit.
Never quit. There you go. So then we do have the What's
happening?
What's happening?
¿Qué pasó?
Sorry, I just have to do that.
It's fine. Man, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go watch Born in East LA. You'll see what we're talking about.
Do yourself a favor. It's awesome.
Yes.
Happening?
I think for sure, biggest thing coming up, I think, is that fight next week.
Big time.
That's the fight of the century, maybe, man.
Fight night. As we talked with my mom earlier, we're going to get our food ready, everything ready, drinks and everything ready. So, man, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Manny, do you have anybody to watch in the undercard? Do you know who's on the undercard yet?
I haven't really looked at the undercard. I had looked at it, but I forgot.
But this is one of those fights that it doesn't matter who the undercard is.
You pregame. Don't worry about the undercard.
There are some good fights on the undercard, though. I remember I said one of them or two of them last show, but I just didn't bring it with me today. But they're I mean, anytime that it's Golden Boy, they always have some good undercards. They do a great job of putting up good undercard fights. And speaking of boxing, also there was a fight last night. Chocolatito fought last night.
Chocolatito.
So the boxing's, man, they've been having some good fights lately. The Charlo brothers coming up. The Charlo brothers right now are good for boxing because both of them, they're twin brothers and both of them are beasts, man. It might end up being, depending on what happens with Canelo and Triple G, they do have a rematch clause. But I mean, the Charlo brothers can step in and fight either one of them too, and that would be an exciting fight to watch too.
You see Triple G throwing his little shade?
Yeah, I seen it. I'm still Team Canelo.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So,
It's gonna be a good fight, man. It better be a good fight. I don't know if anybody. I know there was a whole series of speaking on like Triple G trying to use the advantage of Canelo has a tendency to go back, and that's when you use the double moves. But man, it's gonna be a good fight. I don't know if it's gonna go all 12, but I hope it does, and it's just a fight.
I just want to see a slobber knocker.
Yeah,
I want to see somebody get knocked the hell out.
Right.
I mean, there's a possibility with either one of them.
Yeah. Either one of them, man. They just need that one shot.
Canelo skills.
Speaking of, I recorded that Canelo Triple G 24/7 on HBO.
Those are good to watch.
I'm gonna check that out. So if y'all haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's pretty interesting. Behind the scenes of how they train and what they talk about.
Yeah, I always wait to watch those till like the fight day, and then they get cramped up.
Then I
get all pumped. I wait. I hear people talking about it, gets a little buzz going, and then that day, that definitely lock into all those.
I watched the first one and just kind of giving their backstory from Mexico and Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
But when they start getting into the deeper ones where they start training and then they have face to face, man, I can't wait, man. This is gonna be a good fight. This is definitely good for boxing. All the boxing fans out there. Shout out to my father-in-law who loves boxing.
Awesome. I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Pops Trophies out there in New York. Met him through Instagram. He's been watching the show, and I told him definitely want to give him a shout out. And I'm going to look into getting our trophy for the Yahoo Pick'em made by him. He makes some dope stuff. So check out Pops Trophies, POPPS Trophies on the Instagram. He has some dope stuff. And we also have a giveaway that we want to get to. Shout out to Art Luna.
Shout out to Art,
who gave us this shirt. He gave me this
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me Zeke Tupac shirt. And let's go ahead and do the giveaway.
Yeah, make sure to support him. He does have different designs, different styles. He also does custom photos or posters that you can get framed and hung up. I got a couple of them from him, and they're really great posters. So make sure y'all support your small businesses, support Hispanic businesses, support us. We support him. He supports us. You know, we're all in it for, you know, to be successful for everybody. I like to see people being successful. So I do appreciate everybody that called in today, everybody that chats with us. You know, we appreciate you waking up and you know, spending time with us on our show. This truly is our passion. We've always been about sports. We played sports. We watch sports. We go to sports games. We have cookouts. We have, you know, anything that you know, involves sports, we're there. We cover it. We like to watch everything. So it's not just, you know, professional sports. We do community sports and everything. So if you have something that you want us to check out, we'll be more than glad to check out. Just message us, you know, and make sure y'all share our page and subscribe to our YouTube page, #ChampsTV.
Okay. And we have some winners on the for the raffle. Danny Yogi Gonzalez and Raquel Rames. So we will get with you, and I'll talk to Art. Make sure you get your free T-shirts. Thank you for sharing the page and following those rules on that. And Ugo, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to mention Stuart says it's Triple G all day.
Yeah, he has Triple G shirts. I sent Stuart a pic of what he has. He has some dope stuff with Triple G, throw it up the west side,
man,
and some chains.
Shout out to Art,
stuff.
Man.
It's pretty awesome.
Shout out to Art. We had to help him with the conflict with someone stealing his design. So your signs are getting stolen, man. You're doing something right.
And speaking of Art, also, guys, if you don't mind, if y'all could get y'all's T-shirts, we have some new T-shirts that he's going to be working on for the kids with the more kid type of designs that he's going to have. So he's going to be premiering those pretty soon. So stay on the lookout for that. I told him I would give him a shout out on that.
I'll definitely be Art. I'll hit you up. I'm definitely gonna have to give me some Witten ones for my kiddo. But these are great kid shirts, man. It's more of a cartoony, but it's got the design. It's a picture within a picture, man. These are great quality. These ain't gonna be anything that fades away, washes off, or falls off. So shout out to Art. Thanks for the support, man. We'll definitely get you.
He also has your Canelo and Triple G shirts too.
Yes.
So
it's never too late to order. Get your fight night shirts.
I'm getting mine after the show.
Cool. I picked mine up yesterday. It was pretty awesome.
Fredo hopped on while you get the other one ready. Fredo hopped on and said, "How about to pick 'em? You got it, bro. Can't hate on that."
We gave you a shout out.
Yeah.
You tuned in
late, bro.
That's right. It's probably gonna be the only one you get right.
We know you got one game on us, and we're really not worried about it, bro.
There's still a lot of games left today. And Ronnie wants to know where we're watching the fight at.
At my crib, hit me up, Ronnie, at my crib, and if it's subject to change, then Manny's crib. But either way, we're watching it. So
someone's gonna have that.
We're having a fight night.
Yeah, somewhere.
This fight will not be missed.
Bring some rolls, bring some bread, something. All right, let's do this Jalen Smith giveaway real quick. These are to all our A1s from day one.
Jalen photo is JSA certified. Has a certificate and everything. So
yes, and I got one.
We appreciate everybody that shared our page. We put everybody that is on my personal page and on the SportsCave show. So we got us a winner in here.
Let's go ahead and ship it out to Canada. Stuart is our winner. I promise you, it's not.
Stuart won.
Stuart won. That Jalen Smith. I'll have to put it in with our bobblehead trades that we have established going.
Stuart.
Congratulations,
I hope you like
Stuart. So I appreciate you following, and it's already paying off. So awesome. Yeah, I'll get with. I'll make sure it's shipped out to you once we send our bubble.
We're gonna have to get the international shipping, bro.
Definitely. Oh, it's okay. I'm already there, so don't worry about it.
We can bet a bobblehead on the Triple G Canelo fight. What's up?
There you go, Stuart.
Shots fired. What's up, Stuart?
Shout out to Stuart though. Stuart
Team
is
Canelo, baby.
Stuart is also our top chatter today.
Awesome.
He also called in. So
cool.
Hey man, good
All
job, Stuart.
Canada.
Appreciate it. From Canada, bro. International. So there you go, Stuart. You got a little bobblehead wager right there.
You could trade it for the Jalen Smith too. We can see what's up. We can work.
There you go. Work out a deal.
Thanks to everybody watching.
I want to give a shout out to the 4th grade Bear cheerleaders. They had me make a commercial for the show yesterday. They were super excited. They were happy to do it. It was right after the game, so they were tired and it was hot, but they were excited to do it. So shout out to the 4th grade Bear cheerleaders.
Yeah. Raphael's asking if y'all think Jessica Simpson and Carrie Underwood are still Cowboys fans.
Maybe.
Maybe,
So. She wears the boots. I think the Cowboy jersey goes with the boots. So
we definitely know Romo has his.
Or as far as Carrie goes, and she's still involved with the NFL. I'm sure she's still got some love for the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys. Come on.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, definitely. He said Tony was a player. He sure was for a while, but you can't blame him. Ain't mad at you, Tony.
And then Priscilla's on here. She definitely wants those 82 shirts. And then I'll ask Art about the Romo. My little girl's still a Romo fan. That's
those
her
are on
quarterback.
clearance somewhere.
So, but maybe we can get Art to give us a Romo one.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out to Romo, still in our heart. He'll be broadcasting today. I'm kind of excited to see if I can catch him broadcasting. But
good luck to him.
I got fantasy moves to go, so
yeah.
All right.
Get this show on the wrap.
Let's get this show wrapped up. We got
Good
football
luck
to
to
watch.
everyone. Let us know how it
Enjoy
worked
y'all's
out.
first football Sunday.
Yes, it's the first week. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a great show. Thank you for calling in. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's game day. Let's go get some food grub. I'm your boy Juice.
Big Manny in the house.
Will.
And thank you for tuning in, man. Episode 7. Make sure to catch us on the repeat.
Thank you for watching the Sports Cave on #Champs.
#Champs is a Twisted Curve production.